Hey everybody, it's Betsy Lafferty, and I'm going to share my EDL 854 intro video with you all tonight. Just a little bit about where I work. I work at Windham Elementary School. It is part of the USD 444 Little River Windham School District. We serve 159 students, pre-K through 6th grade. This is my 11th year at Windham and my 14th year overall in education. I am a physical education and health teacher. I also work in the mornings in math and reading classrooms. In addition to teaching, I am a middle school girls basketball coach and also the track and field coach at the high school. We have a really great principal at Windham Elementary. He's really a role model on how someday I would like to lead. He's very trusted, and he's just an overall great guy. We have a really just loving, creative, compassionate, progressive staff that gets along real well and works hard to get things done. And overall, I am just very blessed to be a Tiger. A little bit about me personally. I am the oldest of 9 children. I am a Little River Windham graduate, so this is home for both my husband and I. I married my high school sweetheart, and if you look below, there's such a cute picture of us at our senior prom, which is kind of fun. I am the mom of 3. I have a freshman boy, a 5th grade daughter, and a 3rd grade daughter, so we are kept on our toes. Faith is a very important part of my life, and a fun fact is I might just be a tiny bit loud, but hopefully that's an endearing trait of mine. I don't know, we'll see. Looking at the 10 new perspectives that I gained in reading the articles, it's often believed that the central office is best positioned to make all the financial decisions for the district. While I think that people in the central office have great training and have a lot of knowledge, I think they might be a little removed from the everyday goings on at the school, and so I don't necessarily think that they are the best people to make every financial decision. I learned a little bit about SBM. It's a system in which some autonomy is given to leaders of the school for financial decisions, such as principals or teachers. I really like this growing trend. I think that principals really have probably the greatest knowledge of what's going on daily in the school and also what resources are needed. So I think this is a great trend. Changing to an SBM would actually require approval by the school board. I didn't realize that that's the level that the decision would need to be made at. But I think it is good because since the Board of Education is kind of the overall factor, even over the superintendent, it's good for them to be an important part of that decision. Even if school principals do have say in funding issues, it's very rare for them to have total decision-making power. Some reasons for this are consistency, cost effectiveness, and also process efficiency. I must say that while I think it's very important for principals and teachers possibly to have power in financial decisions, I do like the idea that they don't have total power. I think it's good for the superintendents, the Board of Education, and principals to all lean on everyone's knowledge and make some of those decisions together and allow the right people to make the decisions and not just one person. Financial management is one of the most important responsibilities a school leader must undertake. I think this is really important. Just like in our personal lives, we need to take care of our finances, and we really have to know what's happening, how much money is there, how to budget, and how to create a setup for continued success in our schools and not really just running it dry. School leaders must know how to read an income statement. An income statement is comprised of 3 main components, which are gross profit margin, net profit, and net profit margin. As a school leader, I'm going to have to admit, I'm going to have to expand my knowledge, so I'm going to have to make sure that I know, and not only know, but also understand what each of these things means and what it means to the future of our school and what it means for this year's budget and then the next. And so it's going to take a little bit of increased knowledge for me to be able to do this effectively. The balance sheet that we'll have to read outlines our school's overall financial health. It includes school assets, liabilities, and also the net value. I think it's really imperative for leaders to know the long-term viability of the school they're leading. It could help in planning for future endeavors. It could help us know what fundraising we need to do, and just overall kind of the long-term goals that we can sustain as a school. I also found that there's many different accounting tools for a principal or superintendent to use, such as the ones I've listed here. It's good to know that there's all of these resources, so I don't have to spend hours and hours creating my own spreadsheets. These programs can do that for me. They can help me understand and organize, so I can spend more of my time with students and teachers where it's most important. Also, instead of principals being treated kind of like the CEO of their school, they're often treated as middle managers and have little control over their school budgets. I never really thought about it in this light, but a lot of times the superintendents or central office think that they really need the power, and I just don't think that's always the truth. And so putting more control in the principal's hands is a good idea. So they can really get students and teachers what they need and not waste any money. And in order to manage money more wisely, districts need to do their part to push money decisions down into the lower levels of the school. If we allow those that are closest to the issues to know and understand how money needs to be spent, I think this shows a trust between the different parties. And if people trust one another, I think they're more likely to tell the truth and do what's right. So I think it's really important for this push down effect to happen, and let principals make some of those decisions that could be more cost effective to the schools and lead to more student success. In our district, our principals don't have a whole lot of say over budget. While they give their opinion, whether they approve or disapprove, basically every purchase that we make has to be signed off by our superintendent. It's pretty micromanaged and can at times be maybe a little frustrating. It's not a terrible thing necessarily, but sometimes we don't get the right things, or it takes forever, or we don't need maybe what they ordered because it costs too much. And so I think a little bit more flexibility in those decisions would be a good thing for our district. And sometimes the actual purchases don't match with our needs because that communication hasn't been good enough and we just don't get what we need. My future as a principal, some of the things that I think about, my hesitations towards budget, or maybe some fears, would be the amount of time that budgeting is going to take from my day. I would like a lot of my time to be able to connect with students and teachers. I'm a little nervous about what if I make a budgeting mistake? What if it's something that I don't catch and that could really put us in a hole or hurt the school? And then the differing money managing opinions that could be out there. I'm kind of more of a tightwad, and so while I know that schools and teachers need lots of things, if someone's just a free spender, then our opinions could vary a little bit. Some of my things I look forward to, or my excitements, would be curb frivolous spending, make purchases in line with our school's needs, and then be able to help teachers feel as though they're trusted and have some power in those decision-making processes. Here's my references to kind of show you where I got my information. I just really look forward to working with you all this semester and learning from you, and I hope you all have a great night. Thanks.